I'm gone.
Oh man. Well, I think I got rid of my unibrow, so that's always nice.
Where'd it go?
We're back with another episode of COFOH Live Undead, and today we're joined by the fantastic and super talented Eileen Dietz, the legendary actress. You know her from The Exorcist. So let's get to it.
Something on my face.
Eileen, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thanks so much for coming on the show. It's such a pleasure to have you. How's things in California?
Dire.
Yeah.
Things are bad here. But anyway, that's probably what you asked. Things are fine. It's just everybody's dying. But there's too many people in California anyway. So bye.
Oh,
Don't mean that.
It sounds like the premise of it.
You know, I mean, there are too many people in California. There really are. Rents are skyrocketing, and a lot of people are leaving. But I understand there's a 50% occupancy rate in New York City, of all things. People are leaving.
Oh.
They want to go to Wyoming or someplace like that.
A little bit more sparse.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, it's pretty. We spend most of my time at home, but I live in an old monastery, and so it's big.
Oh.
It's real big. We have a fireplace, which we don't need now, but I have a stoop outside, and I sit on the stoop and get my vitamin D and look at all the flowers. We're a little flower, not little, but we're this big flower thing in Hollywood, in the middle of all the cement. So that's really nice, and flowers and stuff like that, and take my computer out sometimes. So, and we need vitamin D. I mean, that's besides that thing that I can't pronounce, hydro something or other. We really do need as much vitamin D as you can get. If you can't get it from the sun, take vitamins, but be sure they're organic, that they're not just made in a factory. Make sure they're organic. If they're made in a factory, they don't do any good. So we do that, and my God, I've watched more television in the last 3.5, 4 months than I have practically my whole life. I'm just streaming everything.
Right. You and your husband are just binging a lot of stuff too, or?
We're binging just about everything. We're running out of kind of things that we want to binge, and there's not going to be any new product for a while. So we're into documentaries now.
Right. So, Eileen,
I mean, Stephen King is all over everywhere.
Right. Oh, most definitely. Now, Eileen, you've been an actress for several decades, very prominent projects.
Oh, your mouth open.
What's that?
When you went mute, your mouth was open. It was like.
On this end, I think I was still very active. So you're getting a very special view of me that unfortunately nobody else is going to be seeing. You should probably be recording on your end so we can post different versions of this. I think yours will be better, actually. But so going back, tell us a little bit about, where you come from and how you got into acting. And I know it's in your book.
Can I pitch my book and then tell you?
Yes.
For all you guys that really want to know how I became an actress and maybe some notes how you can become an actor, or actually the first part is about dreams and it's about anything you want to become from what you want to do, because for some reason the world is far more negative than positive. And when this little 5'2", buck-toothed, flat-chested little girl said, "I want to be an actress," everybody went, "Yeah, right." Including my parents. Like, how many people in the world want to be an actor? You don't have a chance. What are you going to do? So the first part of the book is really to not listen to any of that negativity. If you have dreams, go follow them. What the heck? Don't let. And I mean, not only an actor, a writer, director, prop person, mom. Maybe your aspiration is just to be mom, or open a store, a bakery, anything you want to be. Just do it, and don't let anybody stop you. So the first part of the book is about that, and my personal thing, which is the reason so many athletes and actors get into trouble, is because everybody needs a support system. And in my life too, I made a lot of wrong choices because I needed somebody that would just go, "No, don't do that." Like your gut says no, but everybody say, okay. So that's the other part. But then we get into all kinds of little stories and anecdotes, some very sad and some very funny, about how I became an actress. Like when I was 7 years old and went to see Peter Pan, and I figured all I had to do was jump on the stage. Lost boys. And then I figured, what if we were in the balcony? I figured, what if I miss the stage? I'm going to end up in the audience, and that wouldn't be good. So anyway, there's all kinds of stories. I have a Me Too story about that. My first professional job was in Michigan, and the guy was a real Me Tooer. Is that a new verb? So anyway, but there's funny stories too. There's very, very funny stories in it. That's the first part of the book, and how I found myself in the scariest movie of all time. And then we go into everything you've ever wanted to know about The Exorcist from somebody who was there. And that's mostly funny stories, because I figure most people have heard the other ones, and let's tell funny things on the set. So I did that. And so that's my pitch. This is the book.
Excellent.
There we go.
Exercising
My Demons. Don't get it on Amazon. Just go to the best way is go to my Facebook page and send me a personal message, and it better be about the book or other stuff that I have. And I sell Pazuzu statues, which are...
Yeah, it's just in the back there.
It's sitting here.
There it is.
There we go.
Nice. Let me get zoom back in here.
If you like Pazuzu, or you can get Pazuzu or an Exorcist script, or obviously pictures from the film, please just DM me. But I'll tell you, if you're not serious about buying stuff and you go on my chat, this demon is gonna get you.
She will. She showed up on mine a couple times.
But in answer to your question, being an actor is all I can ever remember wanting to be. I remember at 7. That was the Peter Pan memory. That's all I ever wanted to be. And so I did crazy things. I at that time we had a little Kodak cameras. So I just took pictures of myself and sent them off to a summer stock. I didn't know about pictures and resumes, even though I grew up in New York City. But I did the rest of my growing up in Queens, Bayside, New York. So coming to New York to be an actress wasn't obviously quite as scary or traumatic as Iowa, but it still was a thing. So I moved into the city and got an apartment, and I was just out there all the time. It was something I wanted so much that New York City is a little bit different then, and you can have several agents. But I was just out on the streets. I wasn't a hooker. From 9 to 5, just visiting people, seeing people, going to auditions. And nothing would deter me. And then eventually I got my first real professional job, which turned out, it was like, he wasn't nice, and he sent me home on a bus. And the way Dan Lubier, who's the co-author, wrote it, so, I mean, what was I going to tell everybody back in New York? I told them I was going to Michigan. I was going to be a star, and acting all these things. But I looked down in my hand. I had my equity card. I was a professional actress. So that's basically, that one makes you laugh and cry. So basically that's how it was. And I kept doing that. I did a play. It really bothers me when people say, why do actors want to work for no money and do a play, like 99 Seats, or they call them 99 Seat Theater, or waiver theater, and they pay you basically nothing. They'll pay you gas money or something like that. But I did a play which directly led to me doing The Exorcist, because an agent came down and saw it.
Cool.
So there's a lot of reasons to do plays, not only because you think you can get somewhere, but it keeps the blood going, and
it keeps you sharp.
So that's what the book is about.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's how you asked me how I became an actress, and that's basically how.
That's fantastic. It's also inspirational. It's just,
Oh, thank you. People have said that about my book. People have bought it. That it's very inspiring.
Yes, definitely. Whoever's out there watching this, go and looks like somebody Kim posted on the comments your Facebook page. So only direct Eileen to purchase your book.
Well, the best way is if you're on Facebook, is just go to my personal messages. If you're not on Facebook, go to Eileen at eileendietz.com.
Oh, that's right.
Obviously, my email. And I'm I have a web page that's being designed. It's just been taking a long time. But you can always check every once in a while on eileendietz.com, and you'll see a whole store and stuff like that. But the best way is to Facebook me.
Yep. Excellent. So Eileen, you also were working in soap operas too. Did that come before Exorcist or after? You said that
all after. No,
after.
I'm sorry. I lied. Me lie? No.
You're such a demon.
But after I got my equity card, I did a show that was on all the time, but it's not there anymore, called The Doctors, not to be confused with the show that's out there now, which are real doctors. And I had one line. Yeah. Doing one line is harder than doing a whole speech, because it's like you're so nervous, like, is it coming? Is it coming? Is it coming? So I did that, and then I did Guiding Light. And the best thing about Guiding Light was it was the first soap opera to ever go on location. So we shot it in the Bahamas, and my hotel room it was a hard job, but someone had to do it. And I drowned scuba diving. So, I mean, I knew it was going to be a very short-lived part, because it was a plot thing that I had to. So they took us down to the Bahamas and taught us how to scuba dive.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I was with someone else who was on the show. And incidentally, they never asked me if I knew how to swim when they cast me. But they said, you don't have to take this jump if you don't want to. And I went, yeah, right. After Guiding Light sent all that money to send me down there, it's like, no. And so the other guy had no problem. He was like, oh, this is nothing. I'll be great. And they put 2 heavy weights on him, and he went right down.
Oh, jeez.
I guess those are the 2, Doctors and Guiding Light. And then I came out here and did General Hospital, which I absolutely adore. It was absolutely one of the highlights of my career. I love the character. She was in a mental institution. Hey, it's what I do. What can I tell you? She was. It was really nice, because there was another character named Heather in the mental institution, and she got in there because she killed someone. Hey, it's soap opera. And so we were as popular as Luke and Laura. There was Luke and Laura, those that know about GH, and Sarah and Heather. And I love that part. And I went into the makeup room and I said, no, no, no. I don't want any heavy soap opera makeup. She's in a mental institution. She's pretending that she never grew up because her friend drowned in an accident. And I figured, my character figured that if I didn't have to grow up, I didn't have to take responsibility. So she decided to be 17 or, a kid with a doll. And so I said, no heavy makeup. She's just some foundation and mascara, and that's it. And makeup people went, really? How great. So that was Sarah. And I got a lot of fan mail.
Nice.
That, that they either had problems or, not that I would help with problems, but they said I would understand them.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see, some of that representation on TV too. People going through lots of issues. It's nice to see that reflected.
General Hospital was the #1 show in the whole country, and more people watched that show than were watching nighttime television. It was phenomenal. It was fun because I got recognized anywhere I went except Beverly Hills. But anywhere you went, the show was that popular. Nice. And they'd let you with friends go to the movies, and I enjoyed the perks. And on the other hand, we didn't charge for autographs then. So if I was in a particular situation, what I didn't like is when people bothered me when I was eating.
Right.
I'm a sloppy eater. Where's my map? But otherwise, I would sign autographs. As long as
off camera, you were telling me that for the soap operas too, you would have to, memorize 30 pages of
sometimes 30 to 40 pages a night.
That is a work.
You get used to it after a while, and you know your character, and they start writing for your character, and you know the character. So, and I think your brain is like a muscle. So the more you do something, the more you can do it. And when we all started, when the people, it was like, holy cats, and then it just got really, really easy, and then you wanted more pages.
Yeah, well, that's cool. That it lends itself so much to such a thick tapestry than for the background of the character. It sounds like.
Oh, and, absolutely. The sad thing is there's practically no. They call them afternoon stories after a while, but they're mostly all gone. I think there's only 3 that are left: with Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, and General Hospital. Everything else is gone. They just found out they can make more money with, talk shows.
Oh, okay.
The View, Ellen DeGeneres. You can do a whole show about what's going on with her. I don't know. We don't know for sure what's going on. But they have everybody's got a talk show now.
Right.
Sometimes they show up reality program, and soap operas, I guess, just became expendable. And I think more women were either went back to work when there was work, or they were interested in other things like CNN or MSNBC, or I'm not going to mention the other one.
Yeah.
And watching other stuff besides soap.
Yeah. Well, and then also today too, with so many streaming options too, they're
all soaps.
yeah, exactly.
They're all just nighttime soaps.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe just a shorter episode, count per season, but still just as many opportunities. It seems like.
Yeah, I'm really loving it's HBO. So if you have TV, like we have DirecTV for football, actually. That if there is any, but it's on HBO, and it's the Perry Mason show, not the one they're running where he's a Raymond Burr series. It's a great. We're just watching that now, and it's just really, really fun. It takes place in the 30s and stuff.
Nice. That's cool. And of course, everybody watching, big horror fans. I mean, that is what you are so well known for nowadays. Can you tell us a little bit about The Exorcist? And I don't know if you worked with on set at all with Max von Sydow, who passed away in the last couple of years, I think.
Mac was the best. No, he was absolutely the best, and he was so supportive. And Billy Freegan, who's not much of an actor's director, he wanted Max to be like this Southern Baptist minister, raging. And Max had no idea what a Southern Baptist minister is. I mean,
yeah.
So, and he was very, very patient and very sweet and very nice, but they cut a lot of lines from him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Billy wasn't getting what he wanted. So,
okay.
He was great. He was just incredibly supportive because the room was so cold. I think your readers might know they had these huge air conditioners that took the temperature down to 10 degrees and below because they wanted the real vapor coming out of the mouth, the kind of steam. So me and that other person, Linda, we were just in nightgowns, and people, Max and Freakin' and the crew, they all had wetsuits on, so they weren't particularly cold.
Yeah, pretty well insulated.
Cold. So Max was just very solicitous and make sure we were warm. He was wonderful, and he grew into his makeup.
Oh,
he's running past, obviously, but he was a young man when he was The Exorcist.
Yeah, he was in his 40s, I think, when they.
But he was still working up into his 80s.
Right. Up until
he grew into the makeup. That's how brilliant. And you can talk about Dick Smith forever. The makeup maven, the godfather of makeup.
Yep.
I posted on Facebook. I sent him a copy of the book because he's mentioned it all the time. So he took a picture holding my book.
Oh, that's sweet.
I actually have some 8x10 pictures that he signed for me.
Mm-hmm.
Which I haven't really put on sale yet. I hadn't because I wanted to wait a reasonable amount of time. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be exploitive. But no, he was wonderful, and he changed my life.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, it looks like we were getting a bunch of comments coming in. Looks like, Angela's reminding us of the name of the statuette, Pazuzu.
Oh, yeah. That's Pazuzu.
Yes.
Whoops. Actually, they say, I don't know, and I'd have to read this again, but I was told that Pazuzu is good luck for pregnant women.
Oh, okay. So kind of a fertility.
Well, not to get pregnant, but when you were pregnant. Kind of like gargoyles, that they served as protectors. I love gargoyles. Yeah.
I'm friends with one of the designers on the Gargoyles animated series. So,
oh, really? Well, what's the Gargoyle? Well, I don't know what the Gargoyle animated series is.
Oh, it's a Disney series that aired back in the 90s. It's incredibly popular. So it's one of those things that everybody keeps talking about. Like they should do a live action version, because everybody's doing a live action adaptation of something.
Yeah, that's true. Well, my parents had my father. I grew up in New York City. We moved out to Queens, and the public library, the big one that's still there, was having this big sale of their stuff. And my father bought 2 life-size gargoyles. So they went in our backyard, and I used to ride them. They were that big. All gargoyles are always on their haunches, I think. So I used to get on that gargoyle, and I had all these dreams, and my gargoyle used to take me away from my mundane and boring life, and I used to race on that gargoyle. It was anyway. As far as, and by the way, if you want Pazuzu, also come to my the best way is to Facebook me, or probably should be on Instagram, but I'm not good at Instagram, but I'm trying.
But it's something to be. It's another platform to be mastered. I'm still trying to figure that one out too. And then Kim posted to direct message you on your Facebook page for Pazuzu, and also your book And then looks like a gentleman named Steven wanted to get a shout out to his friend Nick. Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't know if you know who that is.
I didn't get what you said.
What's that?
What did you say?
Somebody named Steven said to give a shout out to his friend Nick. I don't know if that's somebody you work with. I don't know.
I didn't get the name that you muted out. Something Steven?
Oh. Steven Alessandra. Yeah.
Not the way you pronounced it. Why isn't it up there? The chats, aren't they up there?
Yeah, they should be up there. You might not be able to see it on your end unless you got your Facebook up.
I got it on my end. What about Facebook?
Because these are all comments coming from Facebook. And then Ian says hi. He loves the cool statues.
So what?
Sorry. There's a lot coming in. Ian says hi. He loves the very cool statues.
Ian bought my book.
What's that?
Ian bought my book.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. Hi, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
He worked with you on Compatible, on the set of Compatible. Yeah.
He was cool. We had a lot of fun together.
That's cool. So yeah, you were out in Denver. Was it the beginning of this year to film?
In January.
Okay.
The first time I went out there, what happened was, I don't know if you know the story. I went out to shoot with Gino, and we just did 3 scenes, just Gino and me and the camera operator and Ron, whose place I was staying. He was holding things up and stuff like that. So I was only out there for like 2 days in the big blizzard of 2019. It was 6 feet of snow.
Right.
I went anyway. Nothing was going to stop me.
That's true.
I was always afraid that I couldn't get home because they closed the airport one of those days, and I had to fly out to. I think I came out on Tuesday, and I had to go to Texas for a show. God, that was a great show. It's called The Gas Station. If you're ever around Texas, outside of Austin, go to the gas station when they open again. It's the gas station from Texas Chainsaw. It's the real gas station. And there's this incredible barbecue in the back. And they had all this memorabilia in the front. And they had little cabins you could stay in. And so it was just me. For like a kind of convention, and so obviously had a lot of time to talk and chat and buy things, and anyway, they were great. So anyway, I had to get on that plane and go to Texas, so that was the stressful thing. But so I was there twice, and then I told Angie about what I was doing, and I think we originally met from by Thomas Churchill at a show. Angie is still out there. Tell me if I'm correct. Anyway, we became close.
Cool.
Fact, one night, she was staying someplace that wasn't working out. And she called me at 1 o'clock in the morning. She's like, "I'm in my pajamas. Can I stay at your house?" I said, "Yeah, but I can't come get you." And she said, "That's okay. I'll Uber it." So she came over in her pajamas, and my husband went, "Who's that?"
Right.
Who's this person you just invited to stay at our house overnight? Is she going to rob us blind? So that's how Angie and I became really close. And then she knew what I was shooting, Compatible, and brought it over to Joseph. And the next thing you know, it wasn't 2 people and a camera operator, We suddenly had this big set with lots of people. And it was fun. It was one of my favorite things I've ever shot. It was a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a remarkable film.
Oh, good.
Very different.
That's cool. Yeah, I friends with Gino. I interviewed him at the beginning of about December, January or so.
So that was between our 2 shoots.
Nice.
He's very, very talented and very ambitious in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I very much enjoyed working with him. I enjoyed the character he wrote for me. You guys keep your eyes peeled for Compatible. It's going to be real fun, and it's about internet dating that should be safe, and it's not.
Yes, it is not new. Yeah, and I'll post a link to the trailer, on Facebook when we get off of this. But yeah, you are just working so much. You go to your IMDb page, and you've got so many projects coming out, and then so
And
many.
all the horror conventions that were postponed.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, yeah. I can't imagine too, because that's a big part of the career.
Hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of dollars was lost by everybody. The
Yeah.
promoters and the actors and the vendors.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a different one to tackle someday, but I don't even know how many fans would want to go. I know Days of the Dead did a show last month, and
Right.
I don't know how that worked out, although Julie, Philpott and Bill, they're very good friends of mine. I don't know how that worked out, but I don't know about fans that want to go, even if they had it.
Yeah, it's something too with Colorado Festival of Horror. We were supposed to have our first event in September, but it's just we had to postpone till next year as well. So,
What event was that? What
I'm sorry?
event was that?
Colorado Festival of
What
Horror.
event was that?
What event?
I don't know that one. I did years of it.
Yeah,
I did
it's our
Q's
first
event,
year.
a couple. We talked about,
Yeah.
and I was going to get. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, it's Colorado Festival of Horror. It's my event, and along with some of my partners, and we were supposed to have our first year in September, but we've postponed to next year. So
Where was it going to be?
it was going to be September 11th through the 13th. Yeah, just up on the north end of Denver.
Yeah, because I did Tim's show.
Yeah, Mile High Horror Film Fest.
The first time we did it was in this movie theater, and it was really dark and small. And I was upstairs with somebody, and Courtney Gaines was downstairs, and so was Jonathan. Jeepers Creepers, Jonathan. And it was very sparsely attended and stuff. But I met the guy who makes my Pazuzu statues there.
Oh, cool.
His name is Richard Preston. I think I have the last name right. I met him there, and he's been doing my statues, for almost 20 years now.
Nice.
And
That's
then
cool.
with him, just grew and grew and grew until the last two shows he did. Was it a triplex or a fiveplex?
Yeah, it was
totally sold out.
Yeah, it was Alamo Draft House in Littleton. Yeah. So he was supposed to come back with a brand new show after a 5-year hiatus, and
2 daughters.
He's had to push back too. I think they're still scheduled for October this year, but we'll see. I don't know if that's going to be too likely. But
I suppose they have 2 shows that for October. One in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and one was in Fort Wayne. But
okay.
I don't know what's up. I haven't even heard from them. I mean, it goes to my manager, but I haven't heard from them. I'd be very surprised, and I'd have to think about whether I wanted to do them anyway.
Right. Yeah.
It's behind plastic, and you're not gonna. Part of going to a convention is, hugging someone, getting close to them, taking selfies that aren't really selfies because someone else takes them. But just really, as just really being able to talk to someone, getting to know them while you're buying stuff. So I don't know how the fans feel about 6 feet away with a mask. I don't know.
Yeah, that personal touch and interaction is so key for something like that type of experience. It'll be interesting to see what the continuing landscape for events
is going to come back at once. And when they do come back, everything will come back at once. And so, you'll either have your pick of shows or it'll be another logistical problem, but I'm sure everybody will get through it.
Yeah.
Talking about compatible, should we talk about Clown Motel 2?
Yeah, you've got that coming up with Joseph Kelly and
Joseph, which is just coincidence. Her last name is Joseph, and other people. Julie, the aforementioned Julie Philpott is going to be there,
nice.
And I don't know. Sorry. I don't know whether people are coming, but I think Sherry Davis will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Pat, whose name I've never been able to pronounce, so we'll just say Pat K. And Ron Russell, who lives in Palm Springs. It'll be a real fun cast. And Angie's in it too.
Right.
And I think her daughter's in it. But it's a real fun movie. It's got a little bit of everything in it because it involves the military trying to find Joseph Kelly, who's in it. He's trying to find his fiance, who's locked into this hotel. So a whole kinds of military scenes, and then I'm playing the Queen of the Clowns. So we have a thing going on with the other clowns, and it's time for me to leave because I outlasted my purpose. So that's really fun. And if you guys have seen, or if you haven't seen Clown Motel, which I'm not in, but the first one, it's a lot of fun because my husband and I drove out to, excuse the expression, bumfuck, where they had the screening. And it took us like an hour and 45 minutes to get out there on one of the freeways. Not now.
Yeah.
And what I generally do when I go to screenings, I'll give my secret away. No, I won't. But, I did have to get up really early the next day. So I figured I'd leave. And I just loved the film so much that I didn't leave. I stayed for the Q&A, and we got home in like 10, 15 minutes. But Clown Motel is really fun.
It is a fun movie.
Clown movies. I mean, Clownado, which I also shot with Todd Sheets. That's a lot of fun too. Those are my two favorite clown movies. And
nice.
I've seen some clown movie screenings, which shall remain nameless, but they were awful. They were really bad. So you guys should check out, especially during this pandemic, you can check out everything. And I mean, you could have, Angie had one, bless her soul, but you can have an Eileen Dietz movie night.
What a great thing. Have a marathon of Eileen Dietz.
Exactly. Do it while you're alive rather than waiting for you to be dead.
Yeah, that's no fun when you can't breathe and can't control.
That would be into saying that one of my favorite things I've ever shot is a film. It hasn't come out yet, or it's just about to. It's called Amityville Harvest, and I did it with Thomas Churchill. And that set was so much fun because it was silly, it was fun, people were fooling around and stuff like that. And the minute Thomas said action, everybody got really serious, and we did it. I played this kind of sick, oxygen-toting lady who gets into a lot of trouble, let's say that.
Nice.
So that was great. The aforementioned Clownado, Todd Sheets movies, they're just great. I mean, he did another movie that is way up on YouTube's list or Amazon. I can't keep track of that stuff, but it's called Bone Hill Road. You should interview Todd. Okay. He's great. And he does everything himself. All the special effects and everything are all practicals.
Nice.
And everybody in Kansas City loves him, so he can make these films on a great budget. And they're fun. Bone Hill Road is about werewolves.
Ooh, nice. That sounds pretty fun.
About evil clowns.
Evil clowns and werewolves. That makes for a really good night, it sounds like.
And then real quickly, I have to mention Perry Teo's The Ascent, which is about a demon figure, but I don't play the demon. I told you before. When given my choice, I'd rather play monsters all the time. Yeah. But people, even when I did a group called Fuzz on the Lens, did a film called Abnormal Attraction. And I said, no, I want to be a monster. And they said, oh, you play monsters all the time. You're going to play one of the guy's mothers. I said, no, I want to play the monster. So that's something you should look at. That's comedy horror. And you should look for that. Called Abnormal.
Is that on Amazon?
Yeah, the monsters live here and the regular people live there. And it becomes kind of racist overtones because they all hate each other
So,
and they
some
won't
type
get
of
along.
allegory.
And Abnormal Attraction is a therapy group to have people who are attracted to monsters get rid of their attraction. That's the therapy. So that's what happened. And all your monsters are in there, like Bigfoot and Yucca. And
Oh, nice. Oh, that
they're
sounds
all in there. And the makeup is extraordinary. The makeup effects.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's a whole list. Maybe you can list them. I'll list them.
Yeah, most definitely. We'll definitely be looking a lot of these up. I know Clown Motel and I think Clownado is also on Amazon Prime. I think.
I think they're on all streaming.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And
they'd probably be on Netflix.
I'm not sure. I think Kim just posted a link to one of the films. But I don't.
You'll find it. So now that we've talked about that, do you want me to talk about the films I'm going to shoot?
Yes. Yeah,
you
have a list of movies that you're going to go into production on.
You know, help us donate. The one I'd say donate to all of them. Give a little bit of something to all of them, or see if one of them is your favorite. Because after this is a real favorite of mine, and I did put Angie and Joseph on it too, and it's called Bleeding Dark, and it's a small movie. It's a small cast.
Yeah.
And it's what happens after a home invasion, which we never really see about. We see a lot of home invasions, but what actually happens to the people? I don't know what to spoiler, so I'll be careful. But what happens to the people that are left alive, including the young son and stuff like that? Really, what happens to them? And then it goes into a real thriller about things. But it does go into a horror movie. So you people who like horror or thriller will know that all kinds of thriller things happen. And I've worked for Jason Hawkins. I've worked with him twice before, and he's an amazing writer. And I put Angie together and Joseph, and so they have a GoFundMe account going up. I really, really hope that you really want to see a really good small cast. I think there's 4 or 5 people in the cast, and a couple of locations. One of those intimate movies gets really, really scary. And the home invasion is scary. You know, I mean, Jason's just an amazing, amazing writer and director. And, you know, we shot in Portland and Seattle. Another project I did for him, we shot in Seattle. And the other ones were done in Portland. And I'd go anywhere to work with him. He's fabulous.
Nice. Yeah, I think, Angela was wanting me to interview him as well. So he'll be coming up soon enough, too. We can talk more about that. And I think his Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaign will be upcoming as well. And then
I was told. I mean, it seems like I'm just working for Angela and Joseph, but you have links to 2 other films. A film called Callback, which is really fun because it's about the inner workings of showbiz and these 2 actors that. They give Joan Crawford and Betty
Davis.
Betty Davis. I was to say Miller. A run for money. You know, in how these actors relate to each other and what happens and what the situation becomes. And it's really fun. It's a real look-see into the acting business, but it's inclusive. It could happen to anybody. That so many actors, of course, are so obsessed with becoming famous and working. It's okay to become obsessed with working. It's not so okay to become obsessed with being famous. But 2 actresses have this whole big conflict going. And so that's real fun. And I know they have their financing, I believe. They're looking for money for pre and post production. Okay. And then he has another film coming out that's called The Gym of the Dead.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, so this toxic waste gets poured into this gym by mistake, and it's really toxic and lethal and kinds of stuff like that. And what happens to the people in the gym, which is not fun. So that you're going to send a link to both those films. I'm going to shoot Callback in Buffalo, where it'll be nice and cold, January, February. And we're going to, I don't know exactly when we're going to shoot The Gym of the Deal.
Yeah. That one sounds festive.
Yeah. And so now I got to get back to, I guess there's just one other film. Oh, no.
Yeah, you got a few more.
Angela just cast me in a film last night.
Oh, cool.
But I can't remember the name.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna hold on.
Okay.
I remember it. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, so I'll tell you.
Okay.
It's called Obscura.
What's that?
Obscura. Obscura.
Oh, Obscura.
And it's like Aliens and Predator in the desert.
Yeah.
That's
right.
And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Inside a shadow government. I'm going to read this.
Nice.
Directed by Joe Lujan, produced by Jerry G. Angelo, who is also starring in it, written by Lachlan Jones.
Nice.
And the first of a slate of films from Angie, ROKITPIG, a Road Lizard production. So, did that.
Wow. You've got a full slate. There is no.
I hope I haven't forgotten any. Mission of Sin, which we're going to hopefully shoot, and that's a vampire movie.
Oh man! And Eileen, what draws you to wanting to play monsters? I know some of these are kind of mixed of playing the doctor, playing the mother, playing the scientist, but
they're the most fun. And the other actors thing, when they put all that makeup on you, it gives you great freedom. So you can watch the movie going, "Oh God, I look old." Linda Thompson said she wouldn't look pictures of herself anymore, not even in wardrobe makeup, because she didn't want to watch herself grow old on stage, on set. It's different. I think I look like my character from General Hospital. And that was the 80s. I mean, I think I haven't changed a bit unless I watch myself in a film and I go, maybe. Anyway, monsters are just really fun to play. And it's written well. And I think as an actress, I always try, believe it or not, find the vulnerability in everybody you play, even if it's a wicked scientist. Wicked scientists don't think they're wicked. They think they're doing something for the good of humanity. As Hitler did. I mean, Hitler, the bottom line, believed he was saving Germany. But and that's what Anthony Hopkins does so brilliantly. That when, Slaughter the Lambs?
Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah. That there was also a vulnerability to that horrible monster he played.
Yeah.
So that's my theory. So it's fun to play evil people or monsters or something like that, because you can look for the vulnerability or what makes them tick, and not just make, faces or funny sounds.
Yeah, they're not.
I even did that in The Exorcist, believe it or not, because monsters, by the way, also, and evil people have a lot of fun being monsters. They have a lot of fun killing people. They have a lot of fun being serial killers. So it's not the kind of evil kind of thing. It's like, I got that. That person's gone, That's why. You look for the vulnerability, and you also look for the humor. And then the evil part, or because of the makeup or what you're wearing and stuff, and the writing, especially the writing, that just comes along with the rest of it. And then you have a character that's 3-leveled rather than just some evil person going out there. And I think that's why it works. And I think that's why people want to use me more than once.
You seem so
very
fun
patient
to work with.
3.5 or 4 hours makeup.
Yeah, you seem so much fun to work with, and so invested in what you're doing and seeking out the characters.
Along with the Bahamas, I went to Turks and Caicos and saw a film called Dante's Cove. And we it was a weird one.
Yeah.
And I was an apparition from the 1860s, so I got to wear
Okay.
those big antebellum dresses things on. It was
Yeah.
beautiful,
Yeah.
but horrendous makeup and one bad eye. So the only thing that was hard about that was putting the makeup on was about 3 hours, but
Okay.
taking the makeup off is when you want to go out and play or go swimming or do it.
Yeah.
And that takes a long time, and it has to be done very slow. It's like taking a Band-Aid off slowly because they're all prosthetics.
Yeah.
I imagine a lot of you people know, but prosthetics are made out of a latex material, and it's glued on. So you can glue on, big fat cheeks or swollen cheeks, and it's used in practically all monster makeups. But they have to take it off really slowly. They have to peel it off. They just can't go like that. So that was hard. I was in Turks and Caicos. I wanted to go. It was hard on The Exorcist too, actually, because by then you had a real long day. Sometimes you showed up at 6 o'clock in the morning and left at 6 at night, and you never worked. They just never got to you, particularly on something like The Exorcist, because it went way over schedule and over budget, which was $7 million, which is kind of funny. But they went over budget and they went over schedule. But there comes a point that it's like, just get the stuff off me. Let me go home.
Right. Oh, most definitely. And with latex too, and the adhesive used and everything, they got to be delicate because you can burn through. You can have chemical burns. All kinds of skin conditions can arise. I've had that done to me a couple of times, and I've got terrible skin, so anything just brushes up against me, I break out.
It could be nice. In a way, I used to get these really nice facials every day.
It could be. My skin doesn't bounce back like that, though.
I remember I talk about it in the book, but one time after I worked on The Exorcist, we went to the movies. Don't go to the movies and eat popcorn with salt on it when people have been playing with your face.
Burn. Oh.
You know the expression, wow, they just put salt into the wound?
Yeah. Oh, that's painful. Ouch. Jeez.
I should add again, since you're in Denver and so is Gino, but Compatible is really a fun film and got amazing talent on there too. I mean, they pulled up, Sherry's in there too, Sherry Davis and Alicia. She came up there with Eddie, Alicia Dowling, and she came up there with Eddie, and Pat Kay was up there, and Julie Philpott, Julie Ann Philpott. So there was a lot of horror talent up there. So I'm sure I feel like someone doing an Oscar speech. Who did I forget? But especially so you can check out the location scenes that we shot at and stuff like that. And I didn't see it, but I heard this place, this really dangerous, almost den-like cove place with all kinds of SM things going on. Not in the movie, just on the wall.
Oh, just in Denver, huh?
Yeah. So,
I live here. I don't even know
that. I mean, so, we really made use of Denver. And
wow.
It was fun.
Yeah. I know the film shot in one of my favorite, cafes and bookstores, Mutiny Information Cafe. So that's pretty cool.
We shot the end of Compatible?
Yeah. It's in fact, some of the scenes are in the trailer. So I'll post the trailer after the interview in the comment section.
It's my daughter. See, I don't play a monster there. My daughter gets involved in all this horribleness, so it's fun. Then you can be emotional then,
Oh yeah.
I just love to cry. To cry.
Yeah, and you probably mentioned a little bit of this, but what's your character like in Compatible?
Different than most stuff I do. She's a mom, and she has 2 daughters. And one of them is involved with this website, this dating website. It's supposed to be really, really safe. and the other daughter keeps warning me about, what's going on. So really, I'm just, just this real nice mom that's has these great daughters that gets caught in this emotional whirl about what's going on with her other daughter and where is she and she's safe. And so I have some nice scenes with Lisa when we're trying to find her sister. So that's basically my character. And Joseph plays someone really bad. But see, my other theory, since you asked, that the difference between horror and thrillers, that thrillers have characters that you can relate to, that you can either like them or hate them, but you have to, all movies need to have characters you can relate to. You can sit in the movie and go and recognize yourself in them. And that's what makes you feel as an audience member. Yeah. Correct? So thrillers have characters that you know and like or hate. They have a plot. They have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And usually the characters change. But horror today, a lot of horror today, because anybody can pick up a camera. And shoot. I'm judging films, short films, because it's my favorite medium, actually. I love short films.
Yeah.
And too often, people just shoot this film. It'll work. And so that's the difference with me with horror or thrillers. And Compatible is definitely a thriller.
Nice.
Which reminds me, I'm sorry. I'm not letting you answer questions. I might have to read this too. But I did a film called Dark Offerings.
Is this a short film?
No. This is a feature.
Oh,
and
cool.
Let me just see if I can read this to you again. Because that was just shot a couple months ago. And like I was telling you off camera. Okay. Talk, because I got to find this.
Okay. Well, while she's Eileen, while you're looking through there, it looks like Brian Bonner wanted to say hi.
Hi.
He met you a while ago, probably at Mile High Horror Film Fest.
Where do we meet? Because I know he's a Facebook friend, and he writes all the time.
Yeah. I would imagine it's probably Mile High Horror Film Fest, but he just messaged and said that he's in the middle of a podcast himself right now, and he's one of our partners with COFOH, with Colorado Festival of Horror. So
cool.
So he's pretty fun. We've been talking about some of his paranormal investigations, and he's quite the connoisseur of anything horror. So he can school me over anything, pretty much.
Okay, hold on a second. What I'm looking for must be under Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So take me one more second.
Yeah, you're looking for the synopsis.
Yeah, it's that one is basically because it was all shot. Isn't that weird? I can't find it.
Oh no. Well, for everybody.
Anyway, I think I can do it.
Okay, you got it?
No, I think I can tell you what it says. I can't find it.
Okay.
Isn't that weird? Because she sent it to me last night, and it has to be either on text or
maybe it's an email. Maybe it's an email.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I get annoyed about it. I should have set it up. Oh, why don't I look under the name of the...
I think Kim just shared with us a trailer. I presume it's for Compatible. But anyway, everybody that's watching.
Okay, well, I can do this. This is a different.
Okay.
Okay, it's called Dark Offerings, and we shot it completely in quarantine. and adhering to all the socially distant guidelines, mostly self-tapes. So nobody ever gets together. They're mostly self-tapes or, FaceTime and a lot of it's a secret. But the script, which is fabulous, lends itself to that because it's basically about a sister whose brother had been possessed. And the only way that he can get unpossessed is to give the demon to 6 other people. So she called a reunion of all her friends. So they're all in line, and then the demon attacks them one way or the other, and lots and lots of blood. And guess what? I play the demon.
Excellent.
It's a wonderful film, though. As soon as I read the script, I said, I have to do this. Because it was just so talented, and that the names, some of the names are going out of my head, but the cast is Terry Alexander, Felicia Rose from Sleepaway Camp, Tamara Glenn.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Who is Halloween 5, and especially the boys that did the film I told you about. They're called Eyes on the Lens producers, the ones that did Abnormal Attraction. But they also act in this film. So guys out there, I recommend all my films that I do. So I'm not going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order. But Dark Offerings, it's not out yet. They're still working on post-production. But those people are great, and they live in New York City. We did it all, like I said, by social guidelines. So it was really fun to do. Dark Offerings.
Dark Offerings. Nice.
That's real scary. I mean, that's really scary. And like, oh my God. No, when you watch a film, like, oh my God.
When you jump.
Oh my, yeah. But not phony jump scares.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was talking about phony jump scares with someone before. The cat came out of the closet. Oh!
That's great.
Well, the person's not really dead.
Yeah.
You idiot, turn around and shoot him again. No, I'm going to leave so he can get up. And scare him.
Yeah.
So tell me real quickly, what do you do when you're not doing the show?
What do? I do have a day job. I manage a production studio here in Denver with a TV station. And at the same time, I too am also a filmmaker. I also self-publish comic books and illustrate, paint murals, do props. You name it.
Films I did that I didn't mention, believe it or not. I'm sorry. It's called 100 Acres of Hell. And, okay. The 2 of the stars of it are wrestlers. Real wrestlers.
Cool.
And that thing.
Who are the wrestlers? No? Okay. That's okay.
I can work with them.
We can go and look that up.
But they were one of the people that had their films show up in Times Square. Did you hear about that? Screamfest, which I guess isn't going to happen either. No. I don't know how that works. They rent a big billboard or something. Okay. And anyway, they put they put 100 Acres of Hell up there, a screenshot, as well as the people who shot that with a guy named Jason Kohner. And a friend of mine named Stacy Toy that are really, really great people. They're also friends with Kevin Smith. So they were up there. But then the author of my book was up there. His name is Mike Aloisi, Aloisi. And he also wrote a book about Kane Hodder. And he was up there because he's going to do a panel for Screamfest. So that was really cool, being up in Times Square and being from New York. I wish I was there.
How long ago was this?
That it went up in Times Square? We shot it about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. I think it's interesting too, like with a lot of the the current atmosphere with coronavirus and quarantine and not being able to go to theaters and stuff, horror films are like the prevalent genre right now that you can go to the drive-in or video on demand. And in like the number one films in any country are horror films.
There was one horror film, I don't remember the name of it. I never heard of it. It had no stars in it. That was like number one everywhere. So it's a good time to get distribution too, if you have a film already made, because like everybody's gobbling. I mean, I used to love reading Stephen King books until they got too big.
Oh yeah.
Bless you. Really bad allergy. Thank you. I hope so. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And Stephen King has Mr. Mercedes, Castle Rock, and The Outsider. So he's got three season, 10 show things going on up there. I love Mr. Mercedes. It's great. That's a great film. And the second part of Castle Rock. But no, you're absolutely right. And do you have a reason why you think they're so popular? Because I do.
Why are they so popular? Other than being like such an easy get in terms of psychology. It's so easy to plug into, to play off of your fears. It's the most accessible emotion. And right now, in terms of the uncertainty in the world, fear is also a great outlet. It's a good.
No, you're actually right. That's what I've been saying. It's kind of like being on a roller coaster, especially in this time with all these problems. And really, if you really get into the COVID, I mean, you could just be decimated by fear. I mean, this thing ain't stopping. You know? But horror or thrillers, they have a beginning, a middle, and an end, or they should. Yep. And most horror films end happy until the sequel. But really, right?
I want to watch those horror movies that have the happy endings, because I haven't been seeing those.
Well, what I mean is the people live.
Yeah.
Heroes or heroines live.
Your final girl or
Halloween.
Yeah.
Or really on Halloween or Friday the 13th, most people live, even in Texas Chainsaw,
That's true.
One or two people get away. So people watch your movies again. Most of the time people win. They certainly won in The Exorcist.
Yeah. Yes.
The big guys won.
Most definitely. Yeah, in Texas Chainsaw, the final girl got away. Of course, when you pick up in the sequel, it's not the happiest of endings. So you're right.
Anyway, that's my feeling, and that's why people like horror, because they can be really scared, but they can come out of it. And I think it was also true, like during the Vietnam War, and when the Vietnam War was the first war, I believe, that was so graphic that the news really grabbed all this horror. By the way, twice as many people have died from the virus as died from Vietnam. But it's a horror you can comprehend and deal with rather than turning on the news.
Exactly. It's still a level of escapism to a point.
I mean, would you rather be horrified by Michael Myers than Donald Trump?
Yes, I would totally agree with that.
We stayed away from politics until that very moment.
Yeah.
I'm one of those bad people that keep saying, don't post, Eileen, don't post. Just read. If you get activated, that's okay. Don't post. And then someone makes me so crazy that I engage in this stupid dialogue that I know isn't going anywhere. I mean, the big thing about I don't have to wear a mask. No one can make me wear a mask. And, so I had to say like, oh, good. You don't have to wear a seatbelt either. Someone made you wear a seatbelt. Oh, and you can have as many drinks as you want before you get into a car, because nobody can tell me I can't drink and drive, So I went on like that, and I really meant it. What is this nonsense that this is my liberty and nobody can tell me what to do on an airplane? Okay. Don't put your seatbelt on. See how far that gets you. You know, but you know what I'm saying? These are things to help people, and I don't know. The beaches in LA, they're just filled with people.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. I wear a mask out in public because I want to respect other people.
Yeah,
I want to protect my parents and my family from anything I might be carrying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And and it is scary. And I think what happens too is a lot of people don't know anybody who's gotten sick or died.
Oh, I know
thank God.
people.
And so they think it's all a hoax or it's not that important.
Right.
If something happens to their mother or grandmother or stuff, and they watch it on TV, and for some reason it doesn't affect them. And I have close friends that feel that way, and it's just really horrible. And you know what else I say? You can unedit this if you want, but
this is going out live, Eileen.
Oh yeah. If you really think it's a hoax and it's not happening, why don't you go into one of the hospitals?
Yeah. They're being overrun right now with all of this. It's not a hoax for them. Our healthcare is maxed out. They're exhausted. It's really unfortunate, and I feel bad.
I really didn't want to get into this, and I did. But
that's okay.
Anyway, be careful. If you don't want to wear a mask, stay 6 feet away from people, and just be really careful. Don't be a statistic. Come home and watch horror movies.
That's right. Stay home, and if you don't like it, stay home and watch horror movies. Watch Eileen Dietz on Amazon and anywhere you can find her. And
and look for
at the same time,
Ville Harvest or Clownado or Clown Motel, and then stay awake so you can see Bleeding Dark, Bloody Dark, and Clown Motel 2 and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Oh, Eileen, it's been wonderful to have you. We're going to have to wrap up, but to purchase your book, people need to go to your Facebook page.
Put Eileen Dietz on Facebook, and I have several sites. So look for the one from Compatible, where the profiles. I'm standing there with Angie and Elisa, and there's 3 of us in the picture. And go to that one, and just come down, say hi to me, and buy my book. You can get it in 2 or 3 days.
Most definitely. And
then PayPal is usually the best. If you have PayPal, that's absolutely the best.
Oh, that's wonderful. And of course, people have time, so read up.
Yeah, it's time to read. We all have time to read. Read.
Yeah. One thing too, I did hear about one statistic was that the people that have a physical book and reading, even in public, people in their 20s.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again? What?
One interesting thing I just recently discovered. One little tidbit. What is that? The number one demographic for reading physical books in public are people in their 20s.
Oh wow, that is interesting.
Yeah. So that's pretty nice about to hear that about the book industry.
Yeah, because it seems like it's becoming a lost thing. It's a lost art or a lost something. But George Romero's new book, I wrote a book, and that's coming out.
Oh, cool.
It's George is a really good friend of mine, my manager, who I never mentioned. My manager is Chris Rowe, and he's amazing and awesome. Do you know Chris?
No, I don't. Just saying hi to him if he's out there.
That's another thing to find in the book, because me and several other people whose names I won't mention right now, but names that that our careers were kind of lulling.
Yeah.
If that's a verb. And Chris just has this ability to, I talk about him in the book, and I say I met Chris Rowe 20 years ago, actually. And all the rest is history. So he's responsible for all this stuff happening, as was Dee Wallace, who introduced me to Chris.
Oh, cool.
For a long, long time. But, so anyway, Chris handled George Romero for 15, 16 years. So we all got to meet him. I called him the friendly giant because he's like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
The sweetest, nicest guy in the world. And he has a book coming out. I think it's called Days of the Dead, but I'm not sure. But we can correct that. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Well, it's 600 pages, though. That'll take you through a lot of nights.
There
and
you go.
It's just coming out. I think it's just coming out maybe in a week or two, something like that.
Oh,
and I know they have it at Barnes and Noble, and they'll probably have it on Amazon.
Yeah. So definitely look out for that too.
Yeah, just pull up George Romero.
Nice.
Wouldn't that be nice? Hi,
Yeah.
you pulled me up, George.
Thanks so much, Eileen. It's been great having you on and being able to talk with you. Hopefully we can have you on again and converse some more.
Come on every time, and I'll figure out how I got on. I'll practice.
Right.
What happens if I hit the link and you're not there? They'll just say that this chat is over, right? I mean, if I wanted to get on again, just so I remember how I did it, then they'll just say
something like that. I'll send you a whole different link the next time. It'll be, it'll be the same platform, but different chat.
I think I went up there and I just said Facebook Messenger. Anyway, we can talk about this later. I'm sure you're don't.
No problem.
Be safe out there. Be happy. Let's get conventions going again and again. And it's up. I didn't mean to get political, but it's up to all of us to do the best we can. And I know Denver's pretty good.
Yeah, we're doing okay for the most part.
Comparatively, and like Angie says, Red Lobster is just amazing what they're doing.
I haven't been.
All the restaurants in Denver are being really, really, careful. And by the way, my nephew lives in Fort Myers.
What's that about Fort Myers?
My sister, who's also an author, her name is Denny Dietz, or Denise Dietz, lived in Denver for many, many years. And so her son lived there, and then he moved with his family out to Fort Myers.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, thanks so much.
Everybody out there, please, please be good, be careful, be smart, be safe, and be healthy. Okay? We want to see all of you back here. Okay?
Yes.
So be good and have fun. Hope you enjoy this.
Thanks again, Eileen. And yes, everybody out there, be safe, be kind. Thanks again to Sumner Twins Talent. COFOH Festival, Colorado Festival of Horror,
and
Cafe, and my co-producer Stefan Santa Cruz out there, and Amanda Armstrong too.
If you ever come out to LA, come say howdy.
Will do. Yes.
See my monastery.
That sounds wonderful. All right. Thanks, Eileen. Go ahead, stick around. I'm going to end the broadcast. Everybody.
I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Be safe.